Hello, I am Aldisa from Faculty of Humanities, University of Indonesia. Would like to present my research, a philosophical critique of Pieper's concept of leisure time on network society context. Leisure time, what's on your mind when you hear that phrase? Time to relax, free time, holiday time? Yes, you're right, but not completely. In the following presentation, I will show you why the common sense about leisure time is partly wrong, or even it is no longer relevant in your life. Let's just start. But before that, who is Pieper? Well, Joseph Pieper was a philosopher from Germany in the early mid 20th century. He was influenced by the Catholic tradition and Thomism and tried to bring back medieval values to the present. Meanwhile, he discussed the leisure time in his book, Leisure, the Basic Culture. His theory of leisure must influence the discourse of leisure afterward, and his name is always mentioned in related journals, either as a main or side character. So this journal makes him the main character because the background of this research is the concept of leisure time, which was expressed by Pieper as a place to cultivate humans and civilization. His definition, Pieper departed from Aristotle, who considered that leisure time should be filled with contemplative activities. However, the fact that the world today has experienced automatization, globalization, and specialization due to the birth of ICT contains new material elements that Pieper himself never suspected. Then the question arises, is Pieper's concept of leisure still relevant materially in a transformed world as it is today? The method of approaching this question, the first is an analytical description of Pieper's concept of leisure and the core concepts of networking and ICT community thinkers. Then proceed with a critical elaboration of the overall results of the description. This journal has novelties, namely a philosophical criticism of Pieper's theory, and this research is encouraged by external turbulence in the form of an ongoing leisure crisis. The crisis in question stems from Keynes' argument about leisure time, which turned out to be inappropriate and is reinforced by Avent's theory of shifting the meaning of work in today's world. Then, what is the relationship between this research and humanities and inequality? First, the concept of the free time from Pieper does breathe humanities. It is based on how humans can become humans. Second, in the latter analysis section, I will show how the concept of leisure itself holds an inequality in it. First, we need to get to know the core concepts of Pieper's leisure time. First, leisure time as character development he took from Aristotle's argument about virtue ethics. He said that people who have abundant free time should fill their free time with activities to develop themselves and practice virtue continuously. Second, as a productivity booster, leisure is interpreted in an existential tone as a place to live a daily world that is full of mystery and tension, functionality that is identical to the total work conditions that impede human freedom. Third, as a form of culture, free time is expected to be a means for humans to develop a civilization and improve the direction of the world for a better direction, starting from how the concept of the world can be contemplated by philosophers in the past to create civilization like today. The discourse in a network society that represents how the world today works can be drawn initially from Castells until Floridi regarding hypertext culture, the cultures that stores data through networks that are connected. Then, the collectivity was based on the decentralized nature of the network and the controls that can monitor the edge of the network. Then, the geographic accidents is a proof that spatial is no longer a problem for connectedness. Spatiality becomes fluid and flows, making it easier for information to thrive. Finally, Floridi's argument about the abundance of information summarizes all the characteristics of today's world that have been netted. Information flows fast and automatically accelerates the pace in all aspects. In other words, the way the world works is already crafted by ICT. So what about the leisure time that people proposed as medicine for civilization? First, it turns out that people's ideas are experiencing a conceptual gap not only from historical perspective but in context. People formulated this theory of leisure at a time when the world hadn't yet entered an era of sporadic acceleration, so passivity and statism can thrive. Whereas now, passivity and statism are interpreted as forms of laziness and uncompetitive. Second, the meaning of leisure itself has shifted. There's a regression from the meaning of contemplative activity itself, from being able to build a civilization in the first place to degrading its mere technical. Then leisure activities themselves become specialized and capitalized, so that the essence of contemplative is also worn away. Third, there is the problem of abundance. This problem has become a characteristic that greatly affects almost all discourse today, as well as for the discourse of leisure. The problem of this abundance itself lies in how the emergence of ICT, which should accelerate human work, but paradoxically has taken away leisure, which should have been abundant due to the speed with which the work was completed. Finally, there is a problem of justice. This problem has been true ever since the formula for leisure was taken from the heyday of ancient Greece, namely how it was the privileged and aristocratic people who were able to carry out contemplative activities because their basic needs had all been met. Then, Keynes' prediction about all individuals will get abundant leisure due to the progress of capitalism doesn't apply because there are problems in the redistribution of wealth, which results only bourgeoisie can have a quality leisure. However, the study considers that people's concept of leisure can work, or at least be relevant if the material elements can be fulfilled. First, the concept of free time from people is not as grand as it was first imagined, but at least it can ward off the problem of abundance that occurs if leisure can generate creativity and innovation. Second, people's concept of leisure can still stimulate productivity. Today's leisure is a lure that will be obtained when someone completes their work, so that people will compete to finish their work as quickly as possible so that they can enjoy their leisure. A contemplative issue or not is not a problem. Third, if the dualism of speed is eliminated, people's theory could prevail. The current trend regarding mindful living and effort to slow down the pace of life can be a means for activities that are based on statism and passivity. So, this is where contemplative activity in leisure can be done. People's concept of leisure is irrelevant in the context of a network society today. This concept can only operate under certain capitalistic and ideological prerequisites. Then, reflection and research suggestion to explore deeper into the problem of abundance and justice about the leisure time. Thank you.